Today we're taking a look at the sensor controller range from Hozelock. Now there's two controllers in this range. There's the Sensor and the Sensor Plus. Now the Sensor Plus offers a little bit more than the Sensor, and we'll cover that in a minute. These are both single outlet timers taking two AA batteries. Starting with the sensor controller, this controller allows up to 2 watering cycles per day, and that's all operated on the dial, and those can run up to 60 minutes each. Now the sensor controller is a little bit unique in the way that it operates, as it does have a sensor built in that works on the volume of daylight, and that's how it tells if it's morning or evening. The Sensor Plus also offers 2 watering cycles per day. However, what this one also offers is the chance to split the watering across different days. So the standard sensor will water every day. However, on the Sensor Plus, you do have the option for every other day, every 3 days, 5 days, or 7 days, just giving you a bit more flexibility in your watering options. Both controllers in the range also feature a Water Now button, which you can quickly press just to top up watering in the garden should you need it. One of the unique selling points of the sensor controllers is that they feature a rotating ball valve, which is mechanical inside of the timer. So unlike a lot of their competitors that use a diaphragm, these can be put on low pressure systems and still operate correctly, meaning they're great for water butts if you want a water butt timer. So inside of the box, you'll get the timer itself, which features a 1-inch threaded inlet on the top and a 3/4 inch male threaded inlet at the bottom. You'll get the manual, which we do recommend you have a quick read through. This will contain information in regards to wintering the unit and fitting the batteries, etc. You'll also get some reducing options to allow that 1-inch to attach to your tap. So that will be a 3/4 inch reducer and then a reducer down to 1/2 inch should you need it. And lastly, you get a standard tap connector for the outlet. In some cases you might need this, but for most irrigation systems this can be removed, as your irrigation system will attach straight to the bottom. So to fit the batteries in your new Hozelock sensor controller, you'll want to locate the grab points on either side of the timer and just pull the yellow section away from the back grey section. That will reveal the contact points for the batteries, so you just go ahead and get them installed. Now when you put this back onto the main body of the timer will make a noise, because what it will do is it will cycle the valve just to make sure everything is working, so just be prepared for that. There you are, now it's completed its cycle, it's ready for programming. So to program this controller, you'll notice we've got a dial on the front, and we've got a couple of sections here with some different times. So how this controller works is the sensor on the front detects the light levels and will operate depending on where this dial is located. So the 3 sections that we have, this section here refers to just morning timing. So if you're just having it come on in the morning, you can turn the dial to an option in this section, whereas the section on the right here is the evening section. If you turn the dial to anything in this section, the timer will operate in the evening. The bottom section refers to both, so that's your 2 watering cycles per day, and all you do is simply turn the dial to the correct setting that you would like. In this case, we'll just say 20 minutes in the morning. So just simply turn the dial to 20 minutes in the morning. That timer is now set up. You can go ahead and install it on the tap, and then it will, as soon as it detects the light rising, so from dark to light, once it hits a certain level, it will open up. So taking a quick look in the Sensor Controller Plus box, as with the sensor controller, we have the timer itself. We have the 1 to 3/4 inch reducer, 3/4 inch to 1/2 reducer, and then the standard hose connector. The body on the Sensor Plus is the same as on the sensor, so still with a 1-inch inlet and 3/4 inch male outlet. Just like before, we recommend taking a look through the manual just to get fully familiar with the timer and keeping that in a safe place. To fit the batteries in the Sensor Controller Plus, simply remove the front yellow panel to access the battery compartment and pop your batteries in the suggested way. Once the batteries have been fitted, you can simply pop the two parts of the timer back together. You should find that the timer then cycles just to ensure the batteries are okay and that everything is working. So it will make a little bit of a noise. Once the noise has stopped, that tells you that it's finished cycling and is now ready to program. So to program the Sensor Plus, you'll notice on the front here we have two dials to work with. Top dial is the watering frequency, which just allows you to do watering every day, every other day, every 3 days, 5 days, or every week. The bottom dial is where the majority of the programming comes from. This is how long you would like it to water for. You'll notice on this bottom dial you've got 3 sections to choose from. Left section refers to the morning, so during sunrise it will water if you place the timer there. The right section refers to evening, so when the sun is going down. And the bottom section refers to both. So if you choose from the bottom section, it's going to water twice a day. If you choose from either the left or the right section, it's only going to water once a day. We'll just choose 2 minutes for the morning. Once you've turned the dial, that's ready to attach to the tap and is all set up. One other thing you'll notice on the Hozelock Sensor Plus is you have these lights in the bottom right corner. These refer to the manual watering time. So by default, if you press this button once, you'll get a 10-minute manual watering cycle. However, if you consecutively push this button, you'll notice that these other numbers will light up for a maximum of 60 minutes of manual watering. So that's just a simple tap. And then you'll see that 10 minutes is flashing. However, if I tap it again, you'll see now I've activated up to 60 minutes. If I want to close it from that point, just tap it again. And the timer will close. As with most timers in the range, Hozelock suggests removing this timer if temperatures are going to drop below 3 degrees. So if it's looking like the weather's going to drop where you are, remove this from the tap just while you experience that freezing weather. You should be removing these over winter anyway, as they're not frost-proof. So just remember, once your watering season is over, remove it from the tap, take the batteries out, and give it a good shake out. If you have to store it in a shed or a garage where temperatures can still drop below freezing, we recommend giving it a very vigorous shake out. However, if possible, we usually advise to store it indoors where temperatures aren't going to get that low, and that's going to completely take the risk of this becoming damaged. You may also find when you fit the timer to the tap, you get a small bit of leakage around this section here, usually because the tap is not coming in contact with the washer at the top here. So ways you can fix that is by applying PTFE or plumber's tape to the tap first. That'll usually allow you to get a tighter seal. However, if that's still not working, you can take an additional 3/4 inch washer and place it on top of the one provided, and that will just thicken it out and make sure that the tap comes in contact sooner. And that's a very quick way of fixing the issue as well. If you have any other questions, or if there's anything we haven't covered in this video regarding the Sensor and Sensor Plus timers, or any other timer in our range, you can pop a comment into the video and our team will try and get back to you as soon as we can. Otherwise, you can see our full range on easygardenirrigation.co.uk, and our team are always happy to help.